This is a R.I.P. for Sir Sean Connery, 1930 to 2020. And it's crazy because the night prior to his passing, no joke, I actually popped in and watched League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And my friend messaged me and said, "Hey man, you know he passed away?" I was like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Weren't you watching like a movie with him yesterday?" I was like, "Yeah, that's crazy." So, whew, you never know when the time comes. But he was the OG James Bond. And I think it was like 1962 after he did the Disney movie Darby O'Gill and The Little People, which, funny enough, I never watched that movie until my friend from college actually introduced that movie to me. And she said, because she loved him in that movie. But then from through he had a six picture deal. And through 62 through 65, almost consecutively every year, he came out with a James Bond. Um, did a couple in the 70s. I think he did one in 67, whatever. He did Murder on the Orient Express. I watched that original one. I've watched actually, I think, every version of that movie thus far, including the new one that came out in theaters. It was good, but it wasn't as good as the olds, but it wasn't terrible either. Overall, it was still pretty good. But his one was very interesting. And, a big factor for me with Sean Connery was Highlander, where he played Ramirez. And then he was that wild dude from Untouchables. That movie, Untouchables. What a movie. If you've never seen Untouchables with Kevin Costner, check it out. I think that's the second movie they ever did there because Robin Hood, King of Thieves, he came in as the, spoiler alert, but he came in as the king and was the cousin to Maid Marian. So I think that was the second movie they did together. It was Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, by a lot of people. The best one. He was one of the best castings. I've never met a person that didn't like. Well, no, I've met one person that didn't like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I don't care which Indiana Jones movie is your favorite. You love Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He was just great. The Hunt for Red October, I ended up having to watch a lot because my ex's mom turned that thing on all the time. All the time. To the point where her my ex and her siblings actually knew that movie word for word. Without the movie playing, they could recite it word for word. But still, an amazing movie about, with submarines and stuff. And I'm not even the biggest sub guy. But that was the first submarine movie. I was like, wow, this is actually a really good movie. So, yeah. You got Rising Sun, Wesley Snipes. That movie was pretty awesome. I still love the scene where he says something to the dude. The dude says something, he punched him in the throat. I still love that scene. He just punched him right in the throat. He's like, sure you will. Excuse me. You got First Night, Dragonheart. He was great in that as well. The Rock. Who doesn't love The Rock? One of Nicolas Cage's best movies by even people who can't stand Nicolas Cage. The Rock is just an amazing movie. Finding Forrester, beautiful film. And so many other roles, but those were some of the standouts for me. His town, if I remember correctly, it had he said a mix of Irish immigrants, even though he's from Scotland, and it was Fountain Bridge area of Edinburgh. But his family did immigrate from Ireland. So even though he had a Scottish accent and things like that, he's also Irish. And that town, I remember him mentioning in an interview or something, that town was kind of a mixture of both. That's why a lot of people would move there. So he had the mixture of culture. That's why he seemed also kind of Scottish, but then yet he had that unique accent where it wasn't 100% Scottish, it wasn't 100% Irish. If you need a point of reference that's really easy, look up Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Both WWE wrestlers, how they speak. If you notice, Sean didn't sound like either one of them. Mr. Connery didn't sound like either one of them. He sounded like a little mixture of both because that's how his town was. And he explained that's how come his accent was so unique. And he played A lot of people don't realize this. He played James Bond so well that the guy who wrote it actually gave James Bond a Scottish background in his next book because him and everyone was against him being James Bond, and he killed it so much. They were like, nah, we need to do something. So, he's had, two marriages through all this stuff. He wasn't perfect, but he was awesome. Everyone who's ever seemed to work with him thought he was amazing. He retired at like a perfect time where he could have kept going. He was like, nah, I'm a chill. And he did a lot of people don't realize he did do a little bit of voice work after his last movie, which his last movie was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I think he said he would have did another if they would have offered it. Like he would have continued that series throughout the end. But I know he did a little bit of like I said, some voice work on some things. In 1999, Sexiest Man of the Century. And I think he won Sexiest Man Alive in 1989. So 10 years later, he was the Sexiest Man of the Century. There's a lot of women that I know. They Sean Connery and Denzel. Those are the two. It don't matter how old they were. They was like, I want me some Sean Connery or Denzel. So, them two guys right there. Always. Give me a little bit of that mojo. Just a tad of it. As Austin Powers would say. I know he was very close friends with Michael Caine. He was knighted wearing green and black for the MacLean clan, which is his mother's clan from Ireland with the kilt. He's an honorary Shodan, first Dan from that martial arts. Big golfer. He was into politics a little bit. He was also in the Navy. He had a little bit of a military career too. So Sean Connery's had a very interesting, wonderful life, and a lot of people, actors and everything, he leaves a legacy behind of appreciation and love from a lot of people. And he will truly be missed. He started the crazy legacy of James Bond. So forever, it's always going to be shaken and not stirred. And you're the man now, dog. We'll always love Sean Connery. Well, this is the Geek Protagonist, r.i.p. Love that guy. You stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real, and I'll see you. Hey, thank you for visiting my channel. This is the Geek Protagonist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, it'll really help me out in the channel if you actually share these videos, if you like what I'm doing. Please hit that bell notification. Hit it, click. This way you won't miss any of my videos. Also, there's a thing on there that says personal and all. Hit the all. This way you'll get them every time for the notifications. I'm trying to, grow, trying to do commentary about what's going on. And I want to thank you again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. This is the Geek Protagonist. I'm out, and I'll see you.